Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the Empire State Building. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Watch until the very end of the video to see where we place the Empire State Building in our city. This is the amount of space required to make the Empire State Building. And here are all of the materials that we will use to build it. Begin by placing a black concrete on the ground, and then place 30 smooth sandstone on top of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. We then want to extend to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then back by 2, 1, 2. We then want to extend to the right by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then extend forwards by 2, 1, 2, and then right by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we can extend all the way back down to the ground, and join back to the ground by placing a black concrete. Next, we want to come all the way back up to the top of the build and extend these 3 rows of smooth sandstone all the way down to the ground. Eventually meeting the ground with a row of black concrete. We want to do the same on the opposite side as well. The end result will look like this, and what we want to do next is come all the way down to the bottom left side of what we've done. We want to connect the black concrete together left to right like this, and then we want to follow this pattern, and I would recommend moving the glass and the sandstone next to each other. We want to place 2 layers of glass on top of the black concrete, and then a layer of smooth sandstone. 2 layers of glass, smooth sandstone, 2 layers of glass, smooth sandstone, and so on and so forth, extending all the way up to the top of the build. And with that done on the left, we of course want to apply this to the right side as well. Next, we want to come all the way down to the bottom of what we have made, connect the black concrete together, left to right, so both of these sides are now joined together. We then want to find the 5th set of windows up. So what this means is this is the first set of windows, the second, the third, the fourth, the 5th. Come to the top of the windows where the sandstone connects horizontally and extend this sandstone all the way over to the right like this. What we are then able to do is add a row of smooth sandstone all the way up the middle of this entire area, so we cut it in half like so, vertically. We can then Add all of these same horizontal rows of smooth sandstone that we have in between all of the windows inside of this new area, and then we are able to fill those windows in using glass block. With that complete, we can now come up to the top of our new set of windows, extend the smooth sandstone row backwards like this, and then add a vertical row of smooth sandstone extending all the way up to the top of the center part of the building, cutting this area in half as we did the lower half. We can add the same horizontal rows of smooth sandstone as we have just on the left and right of us. And then we can fill all of these windows in with glass. The end result will look like this. The next thing that we are going to do is come all the way down to the bottom left hand corner of the tower. We want to place a black concrete in front of the corner of the tower, and then place a row of smooth sandstone up on top of the concrete that extends up and connects to the top of the third window moving up. So 1, 2, 3. We then extend the sandstone to the right across the top of the window and then all the way back down again. Black concrete underneath, joined together like so, and then we are simply going to add another layer of glass and sandstone in front of what we have made. So you'll notice that this now sticks out a little bit, and we want to do the same thing on the opposite side. So black concrete in the bottom front right hand corner of the building, sandstone extending up to the top of the third window, across, down, black concrete to join back, black concrete across the bottom, and then just extend the windows and the frame outward. This is as much detail as we will add to the front of the building for now. Next, we are going to move on to the back of the build, come all the way up to the top back right side of the building, and begin by extending this block backwards by 10 using smooth sandstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to extend to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3, in by 2, 1, 2, right by 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, forwards 2, 1, 2, right by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we just want to extend to the front of the building. What we then want to do is extend the corner of the building all the way down to the ground. Eventually meeting the ground with a black concrete, which we can then extend to the left 1, 2, 3 rows, and then extend this all the way up to meet the opposite side of the shape that we are extending down. We can then extend these 2 rows of smooth sandstone all the way down to the ground, similar to how we did on the front of the building, except we are doing things in a slight different order. And once we have extended that side, we can of course work on this side. So I'm going to take the corner block, extend it all the way down, black concrete on the ground, extend to the right by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then this time I'm going to extend inwards by 2, and then I'm just going to extend all 3 of these rows upwards simultaneously, rather than doing them individually from the top. With this framework complete, we can now come down to the left side of our building, and we can begin by adding all of the windows into this particular part. So that is of course 2 rows of glass on top of the black concrete with a layer of smooth sandstone on top, extending all the way up to the top of the build. And with that left side complete, we can just drop down to the right side and do the exact same thing. With these 2 side parts complete, we can now head towards the center and join this black concrete together, left and right at the bottom. We then want to find the 5th set of windows up, so this would be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. Come to the top of these windows, join them together with a row of smooth sandstone, then split them in half up the center using a row of smooth sandstone like this. We then want to add in the horizontal rows of smooth sandstone in between all of the windows. And then, last but not least, we can just fill all of the remaining parts of the windows in using glass block. With this lower half complete, we can now extend the horizontal row of smooth sandstone across into the back, split this area in half just straight up the middle, like so. Then we simply want to add the windows left and right of this with the same smooth sandstone pattern as we have everywhere else. Lastly, come all the way down to the bottom left-hand corner of the building, extend this black concrete forwards by 1. Then we want to place smooth sandstone on top of this until we reach the top of the frame of the 3rd window, extend across and down, black concrete to join to the ground, and then across, and then we want to extend all of the glass and smooth sandstone outwards to fill in the gaps. And then, of course, do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So extend the black concrete out, rows of smooth sandstone all the way up to the top, across and down, black concrete underneath, join together, and then just fill the middle of this in with glass and sandstone. And that is all of the detail that we will add to the back of the build for now. So moving on to the right side of the build, we are first of all going to connect the black concrete together front to back. What we will then do is split this area up. So along the black concrete, we first of all want to leave a gap of 1 and then place a smooth sandstone. A gap of 2, smooth sandstone. Gap of 2, smooth sandstone, and then that will naturally leave a gap. We then want to extend all of these smooth sandstones all the way up to the top of the build. And with all of these vertical rows of smooth sandstone extended up from the base, we can now add in the horizontal rows. So this works by either adding in the glass first and then adding the smooth sandstone, or the reverse. I think it's probably easier just to add the glass. So on top of all of the black concrete, add 2 rows of glass and then a horizontal row of smooth sandstone, extending all the way up to the top of the build. With the entire side of the building filled in, we now want to come all the way down to the bottom, extend this black concrete outwards, and then place smooth sandstone on top of this until we reach the top of the third set of windows. This will line up with the front of the build. We then want to extend inwards by 2, 1, 2, up to the next set of windows, extend across until we reach this point here, and then down again in between the bottom of the windows, and then extend right to, and then all the way down. So this might seem a little bit tricky, but if we look at it from the side, it's quite a logical shape. What we then want to do from here is we want to join the black concrete together at the bottom, extend all of the sandstone and all of the glass one row outwards. And with that complete, what we now want to do is come down to this point of the building, extend this black concrete outwards, then add sandstone on top of it until we reach the top of the second set of windows, extend across to this position, and then down, black concrete on the ground, connect it back, and then extend all of the sandstone and the glass outwards. So we really get to achieve this nice depth effect, and the end result will look like this. And with that complete, we are now able to head on to the opposite side of the build and do literally the exact same thing. So we'll start off by adding the black concrete like this. We then want to add the same rows of smooth sandstone, so we'll leave a gap of 1 here on the left, smooth sandstone, gap of 2, smooth sandstone, gap of 2, smooth sandstone, extend them all the way up to the very top of the build. And with all of these vertical rows added, what we are then able to do is at the bottom here, add 2 rows of glass on top of the black concrete, then a layer of smooth sandstone on top, and we just repeat this process over and over again until we eventually hit the top of the build. With the entire side of the building filled in, we are now able to head all the way down to the bottom left-hand side again, extend this black concrete outwards. We then want to place smooth sandstone on top of the black concrete until we reach the top of the third set of windows, extend inwards 1, 2, extend up to the next set of windows, and then across to this position, extend down just below the windows, right 2, and then all the way down to the ground, hit black concrete on the ground, and then of course we want to extend across, and then extend all of the smooth sandstone and all of the glass 1 row outwards. Next, we want to come all the way down to the bottom of this again and extend this black concrete outwards, add smooth sandstone on top of this until we hit the top of the second set of windows, extend across to this position, all the way down, black concrete on the ground, extend back on ourselves, and then place smooth sandstone extending out, and the glass as well. With that last detail added to the left side of the building, we are now going to work on the base of the building. So first of all, we want to place a row of black concrete that boxes in the base of the building. So this will look like a rectangle that extends all the way around the base of the building. It sits on the outside of the building, but it is as small as possible, so you can see that it just sits on the outside edge of the building. We are only using straight rows, we are not extending inwards, and it will give us this rectangular shape. So what we then want to do is we want to extend up the front left hand corner of the shape by placing 3 smooth sandstone, 1, 2, 3, and then we are going to place a row of smooth sandstone that follows the same path as the black concrete below it, and we are just going to connect this together at the corners, and this is going to reinforce the base of our building. Next, we want to mark out the entrance. This is really simple. So on the front of the building, we want to place black concrete in front of this row of smooth sandstone on the left and this row of smooth sandstone on the right. You can see how that coincides with the part slightly above. We then want to connect the black concrete left to right at the top here, and then we are simply going to dig out the center. Then we are going to dig out the glass and black concrete here and here that allows us to walk into the building just like so. Then, lastly, we are going to extend the black concrete one row further like this, add a layer of stone brick slabs to the top, and there we have it. That is the entrance. The next part of this is going all the way around the base and placing smooth sandstone in all of the relevant positions, such as here extending this row forwards, and on these sides we will extend this smooth sandstone forwards, this row here, this row, and this row, and you'll be able to see that the smooth sandstone flows from the bottom of the building all the way up to the top. We simply follow the lines that we have already placed throughout the entire build, and we just want to extend these outwards into the base. And then we can add glass into the empty spaces in between all of the smooth sandstone. And I know what you're thinking, like, this looks really weird right now. Like, you can see all of the other layers of glass and sandstone on the inside of the building. Well, luckily, we can just clear those out later. That will be absolutely no problem whatsoever. With the lower half of the building almost complete, we can now head all the way up to the very top of the build, and we want to come all the way up to the top left hand side, and on top of this smooth sandstone here, place 6 more smooth sandstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add a row to the left of this, and then extend each one of these rows forwards. Then we want to extend this corner on the opposite side up by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then extend that row to the right, and then both of the rows forwards. We then want to come to the back of the build and extend these corner rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inwards and then forwards. And last but not least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now that we have each one of our 4 pillars, we are going to come to the front pair of pillars, extend this middle row of smooth sandstone all the way up to the top of the pillars, join them together, We then want to add windows left and right of this row of smooth sandstone, exactly how we have done previously. Just like this, we want to have a similar thing on the side. So on the side, we're going to have to add this first horizontal row, and then we can add a vertical row extending all the way up to the top like this. And then we are able to add the same window pattern. And on the left and right side of the building, I have opted to add a row of smooth sandstone connecting the front and the back together. So we'll do the same thing on the opposite side now. Add the horizontal row first of all, vertical row in between them, then the window pattern like this in between both of the windows, and then extend the top outwards. And then, last but not least, on the back, it's the exact same as the front, the same vertical row, and then windows. Next, all the way up at the top of the build, we want to locate this position here. This is on the front left-hand side of the building. We want to extend this smooth sandstone up by 3 using light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3. We then want to extend to the equivalent position on the right, like this, and then the equivalent position on the back, extend across the back, join down, and then extend forwards like this. So this is basically the center of each one of the 3 pillars. And what we then want to do is split each side in half with a vertical row of light grey concrete. So we have a set of 2 windows on every single side, and then glass inside of all of the empty space created. Next, we are just going to fill the very top of this in using light grey concrete. Next, we are going to locate the middle of the top of the building, which is right here. So you should be able to eyeball this, but I'm just going to mark that out right now. You'll notice that the middle of this part of the building lines up with the middle of the front of the build, and simultaneously lines up with the middle of the left side of the build. You should be able to find it quite easily then. Anyway, on top of this, we want to add a row of 10 light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We then want to add a row of 3 diorite wall. 1, 2, 3. We then want to add another light grey concrete and then an end rod. We then want to come all the way down to the base of this, and extending out of each one of the corners diagonally, a row of 7 white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And with those rows of white concrete added, we want to add another row extending out of those rows diagonally. This is just a row of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we are going to place iron bars along the side of the light grey concrete that sticks outwards from the top of the white concrete areas like this. We then want to place stone brick slabs underneath the bars like so, extend these slabs outwards, and then left and right on each one of their sides. It'll form kind of a circular shape. We then want to leave half a row underneath this and then apply the exact same thing to every single side. So, working our way back down the tower, you will notice that on the upper part of the tower and on the left and right side, we will have these gaps. These want to be filled in using orange terracotta, just like this. So that is the left side. And that is the right side. However, if we drop a little bit further down the tower, you will notice that we also have more gaps just above the base here, which we also want to fill in with orange terracotta, and you'll actually find gaps on every single one of the sides of the tower. I'm also just going to dig out the remaining part of the grid on the front of the build and just this bit of grass here, and replace all of this using smooth stone. Now, lastly, we are going to head inside of the building now, and as I mentioned earlier, it's a bit of a mess in here. Like, you'll see that there are all of these unnecessary rows, which is something that you might not really care about, but if you like, and this is completely optional, this actually doesn't matter to me at all, because I'm not going to be using this building for anything. This is strictly cosmetic for my city. I'm not going to be using this for anything at all, so the inside is almost inconsequential to me because I'm going to be filling it up with light blue concrete, but you can dig out all of the unnecessary parts of the tower, and that goes for the sides as well. You're going to want to keep some sandstone and some black concrete and such, and glass on you handy, but you can really space out the inside of your tower if you like. So, as I'm not going to be using the interior of the building, what I'm actually going to do myself, and I would recommend this if you don't plan on using the inside, add light blue concrete behind all of the windows so that we can't actually see inside, but we still kind of get that blue sort of reflective light hitting the glass, reflecting the sky sort of effect, and then seal up the entrance with black concrete and glass. And the last little tiny finishing touch that I did forget right until now, stone brick slab on the top of the end rod. Tutorial complete. However, this is not the end of the video, as we now have to add the Empire State Building into our city. I'm going to be honest with you guys, Mini City isn't really set up for a giant skyscraper right now, but we do have to add it in here. So I think that the best place for it is kind of out of bounds behind all of our stores. So we'll still be able to see this as it is gargantuan, by far the largest build in Mini City to date. However, it's not really accessible, it's just a nice aesthetic piece. And that is it for the video, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope that you are enjoying building your city as much as I am. If you are looking for more things to build, check out the description below for the Mini City Builds playlist. There are so many things in there for you to check out. It is growing all the time, trust me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.